This is the order in which we will go. You have responded. I will go to now Pawan Verma, and then I will come back to you.
You had said we are both going to respond.
You were talking in between. I was not heard at all. At least the audience has not heard me.
Would you take the response back?
Exactly.
I request you. Would you take the response back?
I am just giving one analogy and let your learned viewers make a decision. A criminal, I'm saying a criminal. Again, don't compare, you are calling Muslims criminal. No, I'm saying a criminal is brought in the court before identification parade. He has been put burqa on his face. We call it burqa. Do you say that criminal is man, woman, Hindu, Muslim? What is it?
So you are saying Jayanti Natarajan?
You don't have to identify it with burqa.
So it is fair.
This is our communal mind.
It is fair. I go to Jayanti Natarajan. She made the point.
Let me complete. If I put it that these people who have been talking about burqa for Muslims,
now,
they have communal mind.
Now I think Mr. Bharat Kumar, out 1 minute, please. It is fair I take a response from the other side, then I'll come back.
Yeah, okay.
Jayanti Natarajan, what he's saying here is there was no communal remark made. The communal thought is in the interpretation of that remark.
Correct.
1 second, please. 1 second. Let her respond now.
Okay.
And then I will continue this debate. But let her respond, please.
Am I in the debate?
Yes, you very much are. Yes, please. Jayanti Natarajan.
I think he made a... I think with all due respect, Mr. Raut, he made a Freudian slip. He himself says, I'm not talking about Muslim criminals. That means that's the first thing on his mind. It is the first thing.
No, let her complete.
Because you said that.
It's also not just what a person says, but who says it. No, let me complete. Kindly let me complete.
Okay.
Now, the word burqa is used probably for criminals only by the Shiva Sena or in Maharashtra. Certainly the word burqa. I'm a lawyer. I've studied criminal law. I know the Criminal Procedure Code and the Indian Penal Code. Nowhere is the word burqa used. I think Mr. Raut is using it all, which is even more insulting to the Muslims.
Modi was speaking in Pune, that is part of Maharashtra. Modi was speaking in Pune, that is Maharashtra.
It's just making it worse and worse. It's just making it worse and worse. So, well, point out a single provision in the Criminal Procedure Code where the cover on a criminal's face in an identification parade is called a burqa. It's getting absolutely ridiculous, with all due respect. And I use the word advisedly.
No, as Hartosh is coming in.
Is that I would endorse wholeheartedly what Mr. Pawan Verma said, that it is not about secularism against development. It is secularism and growth, and for heaven's sake, leave the burqa out of this discussion.
1 second. Hartosh has not been speaking for a long time. He only made one comment at the start.
And are you also calling secularism a crime?
Well, Hartosh, and there are two questions that remain to the Congress party unanswered. I'm listing them out. Is the IUML, MIM and AUDF secular parties? One, and second, will you define who is secular and non-secular right now and not do a convenient explanation on this after the election? Two, and was the Shiv Sena secular when Pranab Mukherjee came calling before the presidential election? Three. There are only three questions because then we must know why secularism is not a divide in a presidential election, but why it becomes a divide in a prime ministerial election. That's only yes.
If the Shiv Sena wanted to vote for, if the Shiv Sena wanted to vote for Mr. Pranab Mukherjee, good for them. They chose the right man. At least once they made the right decision.
It's not a question of that.
I welcome it. And I'm not going to let you sidetrack the fact that the Congress is the only secular party.
The question goes back now. Hartosh is coming back to the debate.
No, I
asked the question. Where's going to come back?
She was saying, I have the right to answer. Mr. Pranab Mukherjee came to meet late Balasaheb Thackeray at his residence. If Shiva Sena is communal, then why Mr. Pranab Mukherjee, Honorable Pranab Mukherjee, came to meet him before election?
Next participant.
Not this.
We can't
Pratibha Dai Patil, when she became the President of India, she called Balasaheb Thackeray and thanked him. If Shiva Sena is communal party and we are sitting with communal elements, what you say, Modi and others, then why did you do this? It is opportunism. It is called opportunism, not communalism, not secularism. You are taking the side of opportunism.
Anyway.
Yeah.
There's a delay. There's a deal.
You are digging your own. You are calling yourself communal, Mr. Raut. I never used that word.
I'm not. You are saying it.
The question goes, 1 second. The question goes, I think, look at the list of questions. I have so many unanswered questions
why
tonight.
Why can't we accept their vote?
I have so many unanswered questions tonight. But the question is, after having talked about Hindu nationalism, after having made the puppy remark, after having talked about the burqa of secularism, can Mr. Modi or the BJP really complain about the secular-communal divide having come back? Who brought this debate on the agenda in the first place?
So can I answer
and did
that?
Mr. Amit Shah speak about the temple? Is this all happening in tandem? Is it one big gigantic political coincidence that nobody has a control over? Is this all happening, through some inner hand or some workings of somebody who nobody has control over? Is the BJP working to a calibrated plan on this, or is this accidental? These are some questions.
Yeah,
I'm
so
coming.
I should answer.
After Hartosh.
You given such a long question. You should have a long answer.
After Hartosh, he's spoken once.
Okay.
Hartosh.
Yeah, Mr. Raut has had his say quite often. Two things. Narendra Modi has a long history of signaling certain things. When he was talking of Mia Musharraf, the indication was clear. When he talks of the burqa of secularism, the indication is clear. This was preceded by the term Hindu nationalism. And let's be clear what that means. I myself, born a Sikh, have encountered what Sikh nationalism meant. It meant a communal nationalism that went by the name of Khalistan. Hindu nationalism is even more dangerous. It has the history of the assassination of Gandhi, the destruction of the Babri Masjid, the Samjhauta blast. This is what Hindu nationalism is about. And this is the signal Narendra Modi is giving to non-Hindus in this country. Why should I not be suspicious of this man?
Well, I think Hartosh has missed the definition of nationalism given by you. And he may be apologetic about being sick.
Absolutely not, Mr. Goyal. I'm very precise about the definition of nationalism.
But he just defined it.
I've given you the incidents that took place in the name of Hindu nationalism.
No, you may
done by people who usurp the label of Hindu nationalism.
Absolutely.
And are you turning away from Godse
make
today?
that allegation.
Are you turning away from the destruction of the Babri Masjid?
Absolutely.
Are you turning away from the Samjhauta blast today?
You may make that allegation, but the question...
No, are you turning away from the Babri Masjid? Are you turning away from Babri Masjid?
Mr. Goyal,
Let me answer him. I'll answer you later. Since he has raised the issue...
Mr. Pawan Verma, after Piyush Goyal's response, Piyush Goyal, just make it brief.
No, wait a minute. You want to make it brief, then you make your questions brief, and I have to respond to three other persons.
He spoke for less than a minute. Please respond so I can get Piyush Goyal, Pawan Verma in. Please, go ahead. Yes.
No, hang on. I have to respond to all three who have made all false allegations.
Be specific.
The question is, he was asked, do you believe India should have a secular leader? He defined secularism for all these panelists. He said, for me, secularism is India first. My philosophy of my party is justice to all, appeasement to none.
This is when?
On the same Reuters interview. So point one.
So then,
wait a minute.
How can you talk about India first?
Will you allow me to finish? Then you ask me your supplementary. Let me finish. Second, the question put to him was, are you a Hindu nationalist?
Yes.
And he responded not that I'm a Hindu nationalist.
Yes.
He said, I'm a nationalist.
Yes.
I'm a patriot. Nothing is wrong in being a nationalist or a patriot. Then he said, I'm a born Hindu.
Yeah.
Therefore, if you put it together, there's nothing wrong even if you call him a Hindu nationalist.
Answer the question on Babri Masjid.
He is free to allege.
Answer the question on Babri Masjid.
Well, the Babri Masjid was something when Narendra Modi was not involved.
Was the Babri Masjid a follow-up of a certain form of Hindu nationalism in your view, Mr. Piyush?
Not at all. It was a form of some people who were agitated that a wrong was done in India.
What role did any leaders
and they
from your
set
party
it
have?
right.
What
The
role did any
BJP
leaders
never was in favor of demolition of the mosque.
What in your view was the leaders from your party doing as far as the Babri Masjid is concerned? Did they have any direct or indirect role in the Babri Masjid demolition?
The leaders of our party were demanding a Bhavya temple, a great temple there, where it rightfully should have been as the birthplace of Lord Ram. And I think there's nothing wrong in that demand.
What if somebody
What
says
happened
tomorrow,
there, our leaders have already said is a wrong.
One second, we're getting a response.
But wait a minute, let me finish. No, there are two or three things that have been said.
One question I have for you.
No, they've said two or three things.
One question I have for you.
Mia Musharraf.
Take my question.
Is Mr. Bal saying